Hello, welcome to a board, deck and dice review of The Walking Dead, Something to Fear. We have sets of 9 identical cards for each player here. We have a tiebreaker card, which is of course the governor's eye patch, and we have an encounter deck. This helpfully has the player counts on the back that you will use these cards. Each player gets 9 cards, which is handy as there's 9 rounds. These cards are numbered and all feature a character from The Walking Dead, animated just like the comic book. Each character has an ability as well, and what's going to happen is you will choose one, place it face down, everyone reveals, and then normally the highest number will act first, and then in descending order. However, if there's a lightning bolt, this will trigger first, and in Carl's case it will reverse the turn order. When you turn your card, if you've got an on your turn, you can do that power. If you've got an on reveal, you can do that power, or you can take from the encounter deck. The encounter deck will have a number of cards from the player count dealt out, and these have a number of important items. This one has no mob damage. We'll talk about mob damage in a minute, but it gives you 5 points at the end if you still have it, but you may destroy this card to secure a better mob one. This one has 5 mob damage and 2 personal damage. So what's mob damage? At the end of the 9 rounds, if there is more damage, if you have more damage than the set amount in terms of mob damage, which is shared between anyone, and personal damage, which is just in your set, then you are going to lose. This one gives you 10 points. Walkers are set collection. This is just a wound. You give it to someone else. Negan, if you collect 1 Negan, will give you 10 points. 2 will give you minus 20. 3 will give you 40. I've seen someone go for 6 of them and do it. And then the saviours are just set collection, and so on and so forth. So every round there's going to be a few, everyone's going to get an encounter card in front of them, and then some will go into the mob, giving a total damage that will come off everyone. Anything else with personal damage will just go off that person and be added to the mob damage. At the end of the game, the person with the most points from their set collection and basic cards will win. Something to Fear from Skybound Games and Derek and Lizzie Funkhauser, our friends, is actually a decent little card game that I quite enjoy. However, let's get the negative out of the way. In this box, some whack-off massive instructions, pet hate of mine, and then 2 decks of cards wedged in the trench there. So that's not great, is it? That is unnecessarily big. However, apart from that, it is a clever game. The cards are well balanced. You'll want to choose wisely when to use your higher cards and when to use cards that mess up the order. I really like the balance of enemies and how some of them are going to give you personally wounds, whereas some of them are going to wound everyone, and can you trick people into taking those? It's a very take that game. If you don't like direct interaction, then do not apply for this game. But if you like light, quick, direct interactive games, then you're going to have a lot of fun here. And the theme makes sense. The Walking Dead theme from the comics rather than the series is done really well. Of course, you have all that artwork. It's not going to win any awards for originality or blow anyone's mind, but when you want to play a quick game that's easy to set up and explain, then this is a great choice, especially if you already like The Walking Dead. You have that added affiliation with the characters on the cards, and it's quite nice, having watched the series and read the comic, to see how they've cast people in the series to fulfill these various roles, which I must say they've done quite well. So yeah, this one's an easy recommendation for me. Like I say, I'm not gonna go overboard with it, but it does what it does, and it does it well. Rulebook is easy to understand, if a little large. Fun, there's loads of fun to be had here as you play cards, and then the one kind of real clever thing is that tiebreaker one with the governor's eye patch. I really enjoyed that, moving around and being able to snag that away from people. But there is a lot of fun to be had here. Will I keep it in my collection? Again, it's one of those that's hovering because of the type of games I am finding my group like at the minute. All tend to be a little bit heavier than this, but it will certainly I would always play it, and I would recommend it to people who are looking for a card game. If I was going to keep it in my collection, I would ditch the box and put the deck of cards into a deck box or two. So yeah, good little game from Skybound and the Funkhouses, The Walking Dead, Something to Fear. Thank you very much for watching Board Deck and Dice. We will see you next time.